back to my channel, you guys. It's Purely Alicia here. I hope you guys had an amazing week. It's Sunday. We are back. The week went by fast. The weekend went by even faster. So excited for you guys to be here. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you guys know when I post a video. Today we're talking some stuff, okay? I've been thinking about this video like all week. I'm gonna make it so easy for you guys to understand, so let's get straight into it, okay? There are gonna be a few things that we cover today. I'm about to drop some words on y'all and y'all gonna be looking at me like, but I promise you it's for your good to know these things before you start getting into this process of purchasing your first home. I'm so excited for you guys. You're here watching this video because you have interest in like either me or buying a house. So whichever one's supposed to go. Today we're going to talk about escrow. I know, bear with me. I promise I got the definitions and how I'm applying it to this whole process coming soon. We're talking about escrow, your earnest money, and your down payment. And we're going to also talk about the different types of loans. I'm going to make this a quick video and you guys are going to get so much information. So those type of loans being an FHA loan, a conventional loan, and a VA loan. Y'all ready? I'm ready. I feel like I'm so knowledgeable about this stuff now. Like now I'm like, ooh, dropping gems. Bam. I know what that means. I'm here to share this with you guys. Let's get started. I'm going to try to give you guys as much information without y'all knowing all my business. I'm going to use like fake numbers and examples. So don't be like, ooh, she only paid $1,000 because that ain't the case. So I can give you kind of like a glimpse of what it looks like. In my home buying process, I did not have a realtor, and I'll tell you why. I was, of course, I'm working full time, and I felt like I could do it on my own, so I was going to try it. I did seek a realtor at first. As I started this process, it all kind of just unfolded. Like, it was like a domino effect. Everything kind of just started happening so fast. So let me tell y'all, when y'all get into this, everything is just going to keep happening. Like, so luckily I came upon my neighborhood. I was actually just out driving. Me and my mom, like on the days that I had off, would get in the car and just ride. Some identifiers, I look for like flags in the front of the neighborhoods because most new neighborhoods are promoting, so they have like flags and like little stuff that tell you like it's kind of like welcoming. And so I came across this neighborhood and I was like, ooh, this is nice. It's close to what I'm used to, and I'm in the center of everything that I need to be around. So I was very close to the highway, the nearest fire station, the nearest police station, the nearest grocery store. How far am I from the city? All these things considered was the reason why I purchased this house in this area. I always wanted to be around great school systems, so this area had a great school system. So in the event that I have a family and I do live out here, I don't have to pack my stuff up and move to a county that does have great schools. So I took these things in consideration at 24. This is a house, so it's not like an apartment where I can just pick up and move and start a new lease. Like, I gotta sell this thing. I stopped by the listing office, expressed my interest, and remember when I told you guys like you'll know, you'll feel it, and knew I was in love, and I was praying that it was in my budget for me. So you're gonna see a lot of houses. Like you're gonna see a lot. Just be patient and know and trust your gut. A lot of people were interested in the house that I was interested in. So I had to make a decision that day. And that is what we call earnest money, okay? I was like, who is Earnest? Earnest money, pretty much she was like, okay, if you're really serious about this house, you're gonna have to put down some earnest money. Like when you drive through neighborhoods and stuff, you'll see like house under contract. It put your house under contract. So this house had been sitting. Listen, God came through. Somebody saw it and then they put down their earnest money and then decided to go somewhere else. I was like, this is it. I was tired of looking. I had looked, and I finally felt at home. When I walked in here, I was like, ooh, this is my house. It secures a house for you to start doing your loan shopping. I cannot quote a specific number as to what most places require for earnest money. I kind of negotiated because I knew the neighborhood was new. I negotiated my earnest money. So I was like, you know what, ma'am, I am a first-time home buyer. I'm, really seeking this. and I'm ready. Like I knew at that point I was ready. I wrote a check for, again, I am throwing numbers at y'all. I cannot give y'all all the details. As much as I want to, I can't have y'all in my pockets. So that put my house under contract under me. Now, how amazing does that sound? So when you go like and you talk about like your what you manifested, and you can go tell your family and your friends, I am under contract, sis. Ooh, that just sounds so good. Like listen, Earnest Money, you're under contract. And again, I cannot quote what that amount is. It's really at the discretion of the seller. But my house is under contract. So I was like, okay, we're smooth sailing. So at that time that I stroked that pen on that check, that's when I opened up a can of, okay, sis, it's time to get on your shit. What that did, my house is under contract, right? So now I am loan shopping. We're going to talk about the most common loans. There's a lot of loans, but I'm only going to throw out about 3 of them. So when you put down for your earnest money, that gives you about 30 days to figure out, okay, how you going to pay for this house. If you decide, and this is why it's so important that you guys are ready to do this. If you decide, like, out of just from the heart, like, okay, this isn't for me, it is up to the seller, not us, if we get that money back. So that's something that you definitely want to ask up front. If you are in that process of going ahead and securing your house and ready to put it under contract, usually like that say if you put down $1,500, it goes towards the end when you're getting ready to make your down payment. Do keep in mind that these are 2 totally different things. Your earnest money and your down payment are going to be 2 separate transactions. That earnest money does apply towards the end towards your down payment. If you decide just because out of nowhere, I don't want to buy it, I give up, blase, that some sellers do have the option of saying, well, I'm sorry, we can't refund it to you. But that's at the discretion of the seller. So again, this is information I'm giving you based off of experience. I can't speak for every community, every real estate realtor. I can't. Like, I'm just really giving you guys like a little glimpse of what I understand now when I was actually in the process. With a loan, pay cash, however you doing it, you're on a time schedule. Like most lenders, especially like when you're buying a house, when you're buying a car, when you start loan shopping, they see that you're interest rate shopping, and they see that you're quoting here and here and here. Don't be worried. Lenders see that, and they give you about 30 days to shop. And most quotes, so like when you do go looking for your loan and your interest rate, they quote you and they tell you have 30 days to lock it in, blase, because of course interest rates go up, they go down, they go in, they go out, all this type of stuff. So don't be so nervous about like it hitting your credit so much, because lenders see that you're shopping for a house. And also don't be like scared, because you're shopping for a house, so they can't like ding you every time you're trying to see who got the best rate. Before we even like talk about that, I just want to reiterate the discipline. Okay, so whether you guys need to clean up your credit, pay off some debt, do what you got to do to make sure your credit is in good standing. You know, if it's not the time, if you need a year to clean it up and get it together, no rush. Like, do it at your pace. Don't let anyone rush you into anything that you're not ready for. It's at your pace. It's at your discretion. It's what you want to do, not like what other people. Don't move at the rate of other people. Like, a house is going to be a house everywhere you go. There's going to be houses anywhere you go. So just give yourself some time. Credit is way more important than cash. That when you are shopping for loans, like, and your credit is kind of suffering, and we've all been there, done that. And if you haven't, I commend you. But they are trusting you with that amount, and they want to make sure that you are gonna pay it. Okay, so just make sure that you're in that space to be ready to take on that type of responsibility. There are a couple of different types of loans, and I'll touch really quickly on them. This is a lot of information that of course you can get from Google, and specific for your situation. FHA loan, which is very popular like amongst first-time home buyers. They usually work well with first-time home buyers. So basically it protects the lender if I default, if that makes sense. Research, you guys, like, that's so important. I'm just giving y'all like quick little info tabs about like what type of loans there are, but FHA is amongst the most common for first-time home buyers. So the other type of loan is a VA loan. So pretty much a veteran's option. Military people, I support you guys. I come from a military background. Thank you so much for your service. But this type of loan offers 0 down payment options for those who have served their spouses, but not like their children. Trust me, I tried to slide that in there like, yeah, my mom was in the military, my daddy. No, it didn't. It didn't work for me. But VA loans are issued by private lenders, such like as a mortgage company or a bank. They have to be like guaranteed and gone through like with the U.S. Department of Affairs. So if you're in the military, like definitely take advantage of that. I have a lot of friends in the military. If you watch this video, listen. There are reasons and there are great incentives for you guys, y'all serving our country, and my appreciation is to y'all. Conventional loan is for those who are usually in good standing. They typically can make larger amounts of down payments, and they tend to have like a more secure financial standing and have like the less likelihood of defaulting on their loan. Really about, again, I stress this so much, like what works for your situation. So in my situation, it's going to be completely different from yours, but this is a lot of information that you can find for free online. And as I'm giving you just a little bit of background information on it, you guys read, because when you go in there, you don't want to be hit with the wave of like anxiety because you don't know which is which. So just kind of get a few of these terms in your head and understand like a little bit about like what goes on with these loans and what these loans require. Okay, so the next term we're going to get into is escrow. Again, these are I was like, what are y'all talking about? Lenders prefer that you have an escrow account so that it covers your property taxes, insurance premiums, things of that nature. So usually some sellers and lenders allow for you to pay it up front, or sometimes it's included in your mortgage. For me, it is included in my mortgage monthly payment. So let me take y'all back to the last video when I said stay in your safety net, okay? I have the perfect example. Again, guys, these are just random numbers. So I was paying $1,500 a month, right? For 2 years. So 2017, 2018. $1,500, my mortgage did not change based on your type of loan. Some interest rates fluctuate with the market, so they may go up. You may see a different payment month to month or every other month, but mine's is a set interest rate. So my mortgage has always been the same. So one day I get my mortgage statement and I don't even open them. I just know how much it is. So I just happened to open that mortgage statement that month, and my mortgage shot up $300. And I was like, okay, let me think. Yeah, my property tax went up. Whatever happened between 2018 and now, obviously my county is booming. It has to be funded. Things are changing. It's growing, blase. So my property tax increased. So my property tax increased, my insurance increased, because of course you have to have a homeowner's insurance. So I was like, these are things you cannot control. But I also don't have any control of what's happening in this county. My escrow account had to get a little bit bigger, so I had to pay more into my escrow account in order to pay my property taxes, in order to pay all of these things. Next term that we're going to get into is the down payment. We kind of touched a little bit on this in the last video, and it is really based on the amount of your loan, basically how much you're financing. It may be sometimes at the lender's discretion. It's really specific. It's situational specific, if that makes sense. It's based off of your situation. And I was disciplined enough to just really be focused on my house, and I had to cut out everything. I didn't even tell anybody that about the house, in all honesty. I had to knuckle down and do this by myself and really do this for me. Like, so people don't need to know about the process. Be really strategic about when you shop for your loans and your interest, how you're preparing yourself and getting your credit good and getting your money ready. Like it's going to happen so fast, but I promise you it's going to be the best fast process that ever happened. So another term we're going to talk about is closing costs. So pretty much like the banks and the lenders and stuff, they don't do all this paperwork. Like, you pretty much need a lawyer to execute all this. So the closing costs are the fees paid at the closing of like any real estate. The closing costs can be incurred by the buyer or the seller. So some most new like builds, they have like incentives that will cover your closing costs. Some don't. Some may cover half, some may cover a percentage, and in others it may not cover at all. obviously dependent on your situation, and that's something that you're going to have to research, and that will be something of topic when you start talking to your lenders and things like that, as far as like you getting through that process. But closing costs, majority of the time, if it's a new build, they're covered by the seller. So yeah, that's the closing costs. And again, research, people. All of my information is coming from research and experience, okay? So that is closing costs. All right, you guys, that concludes today's video. It may have sounded like a lot, but I just want to start the extension of your research, okay? So get into that computer, get into Google. We have free, unlimited resources in this world that we can use all the time on your phone. When you're at work, look up these terms, understand these types of loans, and be ready. I want you to have this house. Like, I want you guys to have some type of asset out here, and what better way to start? So I hope you guys have an amazing week. Next week, I think next week I'm going to do the house tour. So just stay tuned next week. If you haven't already, subscribe. I mean, you're here. Why not subscribe? I hope you come back. Like, I want you to come back. I want you to, I want this for you. I want this for all of us. So come back, subscribe, hit the bell so it'll notify you when I post a video. You guys head over to purelyleisha.com. I am dropping some new content within the next week, actually within this week. So I want you guys to read up on that. And you guys have an amazing week. A successful week is always learning something new, something that you didn't know last week. So that, I just gave you a whole list of things that y'all can go over. Yay! You guys have an amazing week, and I'll catch you on the next vlog. Bye!